Good morning. What a stunning day it is today here in Cumbria. It's hardly a breeze, and the lake below, Ullswater, Ullswater, as they often call it round here, was almost like a mirror this morning as I made my way round the lake on the bus from home. So I'm on the flanks of Gowbarrow Fell. I'm just above the Ullswater Way, actually. I've not met another soul all morning, apart from those on the bus, of course. Well, it's a stunning view, isn't it? Hopefully this is working. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. Let me know in the comments. The phone signal is not very great round these parts. Well, I thought I'd sit here for a few minutes and take in the sublime views, share them with you, a few stories and what have you. He says that I'm looking around, that I'm not moving the camera. I can see some comments coming up saying good morning. Ditto. Just let me know if you can hear me. There's no point in me putting a camera and you can't hear me talking. Or maybe you prefer that, just to admire the view live. Got notifications coming through. Yeah, so let me know if you can hear me. I'm not sure if the mic's on. No, it is on, yeah. You might prefer me not to talk anyhow. So Ullswater, or Ullswater, no one's entirely sure where it gets its name from. The most popular theory, it's named after a Norse chieftain, Ulls or something like that. But there's also another theory that it also means, with old language, I think it's Norse again, Ulf, meaning wolf. So the valley or the lake, the area around the lake where wolves live. And it's often described as England's most beautiful lake. Of the large lakes, I agree. It's my favourite. There's other bodies of water in Cumbria that I prefer, like Ullswater, for example. So down there, if I zoom in with the camera, I'll put my finger there, just above my fingertip. That's the Ullswater Witch, an elm tree. It's famous in conservation circles. Lots of ancient mosses and lichens. And like a lot of things in nature, they're bioindicators. They give you clues to what's going on with the environment. So a good example is that a lot of the lichens and mosses go like a bright yellow, a fluorescent yellow. And that's due to carbon monoxide from cars and traffic. Is it carbon monoxide or is it carbon dioxide? I think it is carbon dioxide. Sorry, my mistake. I'm sure someone can correct me in the comments. So, there is concerns with the number of visitors that are coming to Lakeland now, especially by car, and the effect that it's having on the environment. So those clues are there in nature. Now, some could say, well, it don't really matter, does it, Terry? Because in a few years from now, we're all in electric cars. But there still is the questionable of sorts impact of large numbers of visitors with poor infrastructure coming to places like this, and the consequences of that for local communities as well as nature. But sadly, that elm tree, the Ullswater witch, was blown down in a storm a while back, so the National Trust have fenced it off for what's remaining to help and protect the mosses and lichens on there. There's a little sign by a fence they put up that explains more about it, and it's right by Air Force on the Ullswater Way. Turn the view around. Looking to Load Pot Hill on the horizon there. Just out of shot behind a bush. I might get up and move around. I've got to be canny, it's rocky where I am. But behind that bush is LAKELAND Fell. Of course, we've got Place Fell there in the centre of the image. In the far distance, St Sunday Crag. Moving round, we can see, I'll get my hand out of the shot. Sheffield Pike, below that, Glenriddin Dodd. And then on the far horizon, if I zoom in, you might be able to see it, with some patches of snow still hanging on the eastern face of Helvellyn, the third highest peak in England. And of course, the finale of my Life of a Mountain trilogy. Life of a Mountain, a Year on Helvellyn, which I think is still available on iPlayer right now if you've not seen it. Award-winning, no less. I'm talking about my Helvellyn documentary. Over that way, by the shore of the lake, I was up early one morning, hoping to film my pilot friend Wham and colleagues in their Hawk jets for the RAF low-level flight training. So I got a text from Wham telling me to the exact minute that he's supposed to swoop round from Patterdale and Glenriddin over the lake and around towards Penrith. So I had a camera set up there. It was a sweet shot, a lovely day like today actually, but in summer. A sweet shot, perfectly framed. I thought that's going to look epic as we see the jets fly around the corner at 450 mile an hour with the backdrop of St Sunday Crag. And I thought, I've only got about 3 minutes till they're due, and I was busting for a pee. So I quickly went to behind a tree, got the schlong out, siphoning the python, and then I heard the rumble of the jets coming, and I couldn't believe it. So there I am, all my bits hanging out, and I ran back to my camera, and I missed it. But I quickly turned the camera, and I got a shot as it was going the other way, past Place Fell, and up the lake. So from that point onwards, I always refer to that shot in the documentary, because it did make the cut. Sounds rude, but I called it the cock shot. And I won't be surprised if the RAF come out fine today, actually. They do look at webcams. They don't just rely on data from the Met Office and stuff. There are a few webcams around Lakeland, so they can get an overview of what the weather's like and make sure they're safe to do their low-level flight training. Now, I'm glad somebody's laughing with an emoji at the story of the cock shot film in the RAF, but hey, I'm authentic. I'm just telling you as it is. Made me laugh anyway. If you can't laugh at yourself, you can't laugh at anything in life, eh? This is one of my favourite vantage points. I'm sure you can see why, as I'm trying to keep the camera steady. It's actually my favourite stretch of the Ullswater Way, in fact. It's more airy, you know. The views as you're looking down Ullswater towards Glenrid and that, it's very picturesque. And I think this view is. I wouldn't normally film in such conditions as this, because if you're familiar with my documentaries and work in general, I'm into my light and drama, because that's what Cumbria is normally like, especially when you live here. That said, it's not been great lately. It's been pea soup views, clag on the fells, and wet and miserable. Just grey. But what a day today, eh? And I'm glad it's my day off from work. And I say work, I don't just mean my filming work, but also working part-time at the Blencathra Centre, an outdoors environmental charity. I'm just going to reach for me drink. Now it's getting a bit dry. Got my Wainwright bag with me, made by Milliken, special edition. Got that years ago. Not sure what number it was. I think they make loads of them, but it's in the style of what, you know, these cotton canvas bags that the late and great Alfred Wainwright would have used. There's my flask for a hot drink. Thoroughly recommend them if you want to have a closer look. They genuinely keep your hot drink hot for 24 hours. That's a small one I got with me, but I've got a bigger one for when I got longer days out on the fells, or if I'm camping out on the tops, filming and what have you. Especially in winter through the, you know, when it's really cold. Can't beat a hot drink to take with you for the day on the fell to warm you up. Just make out ripples on the lake there, so there is a bit of movement in the atmosphere now. Probably the air warming up from the sun. Below zero at home this morning. As the crow flies, I'm not very far from Ullswater, but if you're familiar with Cumbria, all the winding little country roads and whatnot adds on the miles. It's been a good day for cycling actually, but I ain't got my bike with me. I had an accident a couple of weeks back and chain snapped on the bike and whatnot, and anyway, I hurt myself, fractured a few ribs and whatnot. But I'm on the mend now. It's one reason I wanted to come out today. You know, just get my fitness levels back. And also take in this fantastic view. You might have heard in the background at times the migratory geese that come to this area. I'm going to hang around a bit longer. I want to pop down to Air Force, have a wander around the woods there, see if there's any red squirrels about. Despite it being such a beautiful, stunning day, there's not many people around. Why do you say that? I think half term's finished now, so there won't be many folk on holiday. There are tourists about. A lot of Americans around at the minute. Notice, like, you know, in the pubs and whatnot. They're beautiful, isn't it? You can see why I like coming here. There was talk actually a while back of creating a cycle trail around Ullswater, so, you know, to keep cyclists off the narrow road. I think some funding was allocated for it, but they might have missed out on it now. I've not heard anything more about it since. Obviously, they would have had to consult with local landowners and whatnot, and that's from farmers to dukes and all the rest of it in the National Trust. It's a shame that's not happened, because it's not too bad on a day like today to cycle around the lake, but when it's summer holidays, it's not so safe, especially when you got people from the big cities and whatnot that are not familiar with country roads and driving about places like this. They drive too fast, or they're not sure of the width of their vehicle. Sometimes they drive too slow and hold up the traffic, which frustrates other drivers and whatnot. So it's a route I tend to avoid during the summer holidays, unless I go out really early in the morning. Not long after, something like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's all right then. Not a cloud in the sky. Mint, innit? So I'm going to head off soon to Air Force. If you enjoyed the live stream, let me know. I think it will upload to the channel so folk can watch later. I appreciate not many people will be, doing bugger all at the minute and watching a live stream in the morning. You'll be at work and what have you. And if you're a local like me, they'll be out in this if they got a day off, just like I am. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little live stream and a few little tales. I'll try and do another one again soon. Maybe high up on a fell this time. Or maybe out in the woodlands with red scamps, as I affectionately call them, our native red squirrels. So I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, and let me know in the comments. I'll catch up later. And I hope you have a nice day. I intend on doing so. Goodbye.